An important global issue. Sheraz, great to have you with us in the studio. Thank you as always for joining us. I mean, this has really inspired the whole city, hasn't it, this event?
Yeah.
About much more than just city planning, clearly. How much of this is also about soft power?
Well, so I will say that it is not half-half, but 60% is the urban development, the housing and all that. But obviously it comes up with the soft power of the country which is hosting, which is Azerbaijan, which is very significant at this point in time because there are almost 182 countries people are representing from, you know, and they are from different walks of life, very important people, you know, ministers and government representatives, people associated with the climate change and ministries and all that, economics and all that, and politicians, scholars, academia, everyone important is here from 182 different countries. So it gives Baku a platform and a recognition that Baku is just not the corridor for the energy to the European Union or other parts of the world, but Baku is actually hosting a very important challenge which is coming ahead. 2050, it would be 70% of the people of the world are expected to come to the urban areas, leaving all these rural areas of the villages. Why? Because urbanization is, you know, has been growing for quite a long time. 20th century, the beginning of the 20th century, there were like, I don't know, maybe 10% of the people were living in urban cities, or the cities or urban places. But now it's been growing. This is a big challenge. You know why this is a big challenge? Because 2000, as I said, 2050, 70% people would be there. So it is around 2.8 billion people need home. And if you start making cities like London, right? So you need, for like every month for 25 years, you need to make a city like London for 25 years every month.
Incredible. Yeah, I mean,
so it is not a regional problem. It is not Baku's problem. It is not European. It's a global problem now, and you know, this kind of a problem is, and then Baku is hosting that, which is Baku is playing a very pivotal role in not only the energy, and it's not only responsible for the energy corridors or the middle corridor or the other, you know, connections with the world, but it is actually hosting a very big challenge which is coming ahead in 2000, whatever it is, but it is of a very serious concern, by the way. So I would call it 40% is obviously diplomacy and all that, but it gives a platform to Baku to host this and to play its important role in bringing all these countries together under one roof or under one stadium or whatever the place is. And people are really happy and they're really concerned, and they are you know, addressing this issue on the ministerial level, on the philosophical level, on the education level, on every level possible. And obviously this is a part of the thing. Urbanization has to happen, but how urbanization would happen? Is it environmental friendly? Is it feasible? Is it sustainable? You know, you can make you know, plazas, and you can make 200-story building, but is it feasible enough? Because you know, urbanization does not only connect people coming in into the city, but it is related to different aspects of life. Communication is there, schools are there, infrastructures are there, jobs are there, and so on and so forth. Life is very important. So whatever is connected with life, that has to be very feasible and very environmental friendly, because we have a problem with we have a lot of environmental challenges in the world as well.
Yes,
because the environment is changing. It's a global warming coming in. The world is changing. there's a floods coming in. That also adds on the thing. There are pandemics come in that also adds in and helps people to migrate from one place to another place. So there are such a global challenge this is, and Baku is hosting that. So.
And in terms of the hosting, Sheraz, I remember working in Qatar at the time of the 2022 World Cup, and it became really apparent that there are only a relatively small number of countries in the world capable of hosting these mega events.
Yeah.
Azerbaijan has now had a very successful COP29. We've got off to a great start here with WUF13. Has Azerbaijan, do you think, now unquestionably joined that exclusive club of those countries who, particularly in this difficult geopolitical environment, are capable of delivering successful global events?
So talking about, giving a reference of COP29, COP29 was another big issue, climate change. And Azerbaijan has brought in the same kind of people from different parts of the world, the leadership, and discussed that thing. And now this part, I think Azerbaijan has emerged not only a very important and significant middle power in the region, in the South Caucasus, which provides energy, which provides the other facility to different countries, but also is a platform, is a place where such an important decisions are being made. It says, environmental challenges or COP29 was a very important issue. It's a world issue where people just gather in Azerbaijan. Now this is another world issue. So Azerbaijan has emerged as a platform, as a place where these global leaders come and discuss the future issues. So I think Azerbaijan has gone beyond a very strong middle power to the policy making side of it, to the policy player, a very important policy player of the world. So this is a shift. This is a shift. This is a step higher than whatever Azerbaijan was a couple of years back.
Yeah, and in terms of those policies, as you mentioned, so many different governments from around the world have got representatives here at this event, and such a difficult range of issues that they have to try and solve relating to the world's biggest cities all at the same time. So immigration, sustainability, more and more people living, demanding infrastructure, but also inclusivity. Many cities are becoming unaffordable for younger people. So there's so many problems that officials need to try and solve at the same time. They're urgent problems. Do you think governments, generally speaking, are going fast enough?
Okay, no, governments are not as fast as the growth is going. Okay, so it's very hard for governments to manage this, unless until the city mayors come in and play their own part of it. Because obviously the governments or the countries are dependent on the mayors. As for example, the mayor of London, if he does not perform, the government would be just relying on him, or maybe change the mayor or whatever it is. And that takes a lot of time. So unless until the cities themselves develop and help, and obviously then the investors would play a big role. For example, if you want to develop a place, all right, so the investors are there, the organizations play their own part, the government plays their own part, the city mayors would play their own part. So everybody would play their part, and everybody is here in Baku, from the mayors to the ministers, to the head of states, to the economic guys, to the philosophers, to the economists, to the researchers. Everyone is here. That's why they're discussing it. And this is being discussed for the future in July, whatever will happen in New York on the United Nations level. So this is basically a book which is being made, which will be discussed in the United Nations in July. So Azerbaijan is actually trying to make that preliminary, introduction to the thesis, that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? So this is what Azerbaijan is doing. But on the second part of it, that is, these all are the challenges. But there's a geopolitical challenges in the world as well, because the wars are going on. People are being displaced, right? There's a disruption in the energy routes. There's no energy coming in, or there's a problem with the energy routes, and there's a problem with the geopolitical problems, rivalries, the wars between, all these wars which are going on. Pakistan, Afghanistan has a problem. Iran and US and Israel has a problem, and Ukraine. So we just talk about this region. Azerbaijan, in the region where Azerbaijan is located, it's already 2 or 3 hot wars or cold wars, but they are going on. It's a disturbed region. And that's where Azerbaijan has emerged that, okay, fine guys, but still in this kind of environment, we will talk about positivity, we will talk about the future problems, which is very severe, as I mentioned you, the details and all that. So, that's how it is. So obviously the governments are running slower than this, because urbanization is happening a lot. It is going beyond beyond the hands of the government and all that. But obviously all the governments would sit here in this forum for almost 6 days, I think, from 17 to, 22nd or something. So they will sit down, they will think about it, they will jot down the things, they will come up with some kind of a policy, they will talk to each other, give each other some kind of a suggestions and all that. And, talk about urbanization. I think Azerbaijan, after Karabakh war, is building very good, housing for the people who were displaced in war, right? So Azerbaijan has kind of a, Azerbaijan can even give its 2 cents, or tell the other people how they are building it, and Azerbaijan can show this kind of structures to the world leaders as this is what we are doing. So people, so the countries might learn from Azerbaijan as well at the same time, because it was a war zone, right? It was a war zone. Azerbaijan took its territories back. Now Azerbaijan is building things there, infrastructure. I've been to Khankandi, all these places. I love the tunnels in there. I love the connections. I love the university is being built in Karabakh. So university in Karabakh is like a big thing. There was a war-stricken place for decades, and now people are getting education, they have a communication, they have housing, there would be a lot of other projects coming in. So Azerbaijan has done this exemplary work, which Azerbaijan can showcase it to the world, that here what I have done. So people can learn from Azerbaijan as well at the same time.
It's fascinating. You spoke there about many things, but you also spoke about the mayoral model of governance. And I'm interested in this because as cities grow, urbanization intensifies. Do you think we're going to end up moving to a situation where, to some degree, cities outgrow states, where we become familiar primarily with the megacity? We devolve governance to it, it becomes the main thing. Are there any dangers with that, though? Yes.
I mean, it can outgrow. I mean, if you do not control, you do not make a proper kind of urban houses, and you do not control its, or limit it, and make your own kind of a choice for, you have to make sure that whatever development is going on, it is in your control. It is not damaging environment. It is not polluting the water. It is sustainable for a long time. This can only happen when the governments take the responsibility and don't let the people to do it on themselves. Otherwise, people would be, one guy would be wanting, right in the middle of the sea, wanted his house. It cannot happen, right? Everybody wants. So the beaches will be full of houses. You cannot do that. But the governments should make a proper housing for this, for this people migrating in the cities, and should have a very, very, very sustainable projects. It should be sustainable for next 100 and 200 years. That kind of thinking should be done.
Sheraz, always great to hear your analysis. I'm sure we'll see you around the event throughout the week. Thank you very much for coming in to speak to us.
My pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure.
Okay, after the break,